Okay, that's good. We've got sound. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online in association with Round for Round Boxing, the new boxing game coming out on PC, Xbox, on PlayStation 4. For more information, check out roundforroundboxing.com and also check out BWTM Sports on our YouTube channel. We're the official channel for all things Round for Round Boxing. Okay, let's get straight into this evening's chat. First and foremost, who should we talk about first? Well, I'm going to talk some real stuff about this one. Let me see if I can get him up first. Guess what's going to be first up on the list? Yeah, you guessed it. Jerome Miller and Anthony Joshua. That's going to be the first topic of the night. Oh, dear. Jerome Miller and Anthony Joshua. So we knew the date was June the 1st, right? Okay. So he's been caught with adverse findings. Jerome Miller has been found with adverse findings. So basically, he's been caught with some drug use, some PEDs. I don't know. I didn't find the adverse findings, so I don't know. So Jerome Miller has been caught with something. Now, it's interesting, all the people that have said that they think that Joshua's been on something. Fury, White, and who else? Now Miller, they've all been caught. They themselves have been caught with PEDs, which, you know, I've said this a long time ago, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. About 2-3 years ago, I said, this PED situation is going to get completely out of control. The PED situation can be abused. I'll explain how it can be abused. You don't even have to be guilty. You just have to have a corrupt doctor and falsify your blood or falsify your records, and you're as good as done. Your legacy is finished. Your career, once you're considered a drug cheat, no matter what you do, people always have to question their mind. Well, he's still a drug cheat. And people love negativity. Now, Jerome Miller, put it this way. From the get-go, from Jerome Miller, he didn't seem a guy that was going to play ball. I'm looking from the outside. He didn't look like a guy who's going to play ball. He didn't look like the kind of guy that was going to read the script. Okay? Charles Martin was a guy that read the script. Okay? Charles Martin was a guy that read the script. Charles Martin knew what he had to do. Come over, lay down, and give us your belt. And that's exactly what he did. Charles Martin put up literally no resistance to Anthony Joshua. One straight right hand, he fell down, he got up again, hit with a right hand, went down again, and that was that. No resistance. And he basically, as most people said, the belt was bought. Different situation here, Jerome Miller. Jerome Miller is young, he's hungry, he seems pretty fearless. And I believe a lot of what Jerome Miller is saying. People say, well, will Jerome Miller beat Anthony Joshua? Technically, you wouldn't think Jerome Miller would beat Anthony Joshua. Work rate, if he's got a good chin and he can get onside and he can club Joshua and he can catch him with a good shot, who knows? The word upset is in the dictionary, and it's happened over and over and over again. Oliver McCall knocking out Lennox Lewis. Hasim Rahman knocking out Lennox Lewis. James Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. Upsets are in boxing for a reason. The word upset is there for a reason. So it's not impossible for Jerome Miller to have won this fight against Anthony Joshua. But check this out. If you got a guy that don't want to play ball, you don't want to do as you're being told. And in this case is, listen, you are an opponent. And as you are, I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just giving you a scenario. And as you are the opponent, you will come in You will take your money and you will disappear. That's it. We don't want to hear from you. We don't want to see you. Look, Charles Martin. When Charles Martin lost his belt to Joshua, you didn't see Charles Martin for ages. Now Charles Martin's come back. Drew Miller doesn't seem the kind of guy, in my estimation, for what I've seen him, he doesn't seem the guy that's going to play ball. He doesn't seem the kind of guy, Drew Miller, that is going to just fall over. I hit you, you fall over, I make my debut in the USA, and it's going to be all okay. It doesn't seem that way to me. It seems a guy that's going to come and really give it a go. And boxing's a nasty place, and all you have to do is upset the wrong person, say the wrong thing at the wrong time, don't fit in with a crowd, and there's always someone ready and willing to screw you over. I'm not suggesting this is the case. I'm just saying that most of the time, some of the times in these PD situations, it's a way to get a guy out of the way. Interestingly enough, the guy I would like to see box Anthony Joshua in America would be Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter. He beat Ustinov. He beat Martin Bakole. People say, who's Martin Bakole? He was Joshua's chief sparring partner. And Joshua never did that to him in sparring, according to Billy Nelson. In fact, nobody did that to him. Now, I remember Ali Bashir, Uncle James Ali Bashir, on our channel saying Michael Hunter is a dangerous fighter. And Martin Bakole have to be very careful. And he tipped Michael Hunter to beat Martin Bakole. I was with Vlad Serenko yesterday, and I was also with Vlad Serenko, did the interview with him on the channel. And he told about how tricky and slippery and dangerous Michael Hunter is. And I believe every bit that Michael Hunter is a more dangerous threat to Anthony Joshua than Drew Miller. He's got the Olympic experience. He's fought big guys. He knows how to fight big guys. He's got speed. He can box. He's got a nice jab. He knows how to work to the body. He knows how to get himself out of danger. He can punch a bit. He's dangerous. He's a wild card. Michael Hunter is the guy that I would put in the ring of Anthony Joshua. It would make it interesting. He's an American opponent. He's coming off a good winning streak here. All right? He's a good fighter. A good fighter. That will get better in the heavyweight division. Best opportunity to jump on him now because he's coming. He's definitely coming. And I would take a Michael Hunter fight. That's the fight I would take. And why? Because Luis Ortiz is already been beaten by Deontay Wilder. A. B. Luis Ortiz is like 50 years old. Okay? So if he was 50 years old when Wilder fought him, then he must be 51 or 52 years old now if Joshua's going to fight him. Don't make one rule up for Anthony Joshua and make another rule up for Deontay Wilder. If the man was ancient when Wilder fought him, then he's ancient when Joshua fights him. If Klitschko was past his best when Fury fought him, then Klitschko was well past his sell-by date 2 years later when Joshua fought him. He doesn't get better if he's old and gets beat. He doesn't get better 2 years later and he hasn't been fighting. He's not been active. Right? Sky will tell you that garbage, but Sky doesn't have much respect for its fans anyway. But anyway, I slightly digress. So, Drew Miller, I don't know if he wanted to play ball or not. I don't know if he wanted to be the dummy that came in and fell over and be the bum for the night. I don't know if he wanted to do that. But Michael Hunter is another one of those guys. Interestingly enough, Michael Hunter is now signed a promotional deal with Matchroom. How's that going to work out? Well, let's talk about guys who signed promotional deals before. Luis Ortiz had a promotional deal with Matchroom, and that certainly got him a world title fight against Joshua, didn't it? So, what we got next? Dillian Whyte. Now, you tell me, in all honesty, why would people in the UK want to see two British guys fight at the MSG? They wouldn't. So, and what? Has White got enough time to prepare for the fight? Has he not learned from the last fight? Yeah, he's preparing for a fight in July. Is he willing to jump in the ring and take the fight? I don't want to see the Ortiz fight because Wilder's already knocked Ortiz out. Why do you want to see Ortiz? What has Ortiz done? At least you can say Michael Hunter's had 2 good wins back to back. What has Ortiz done? Ortiz wasn't even an Olympian. What has he done as a pro fighter? Who has he beat as a pro fighter? And then tell me why Luis Ortiz deserves a world title shot. To me, he doesn't deserve a world title shot. No more than, he doesn't deserve a world title shot now. He's been beaten for a world title shot. So anyone deserving a world title shot is Dillian Whyte, Michael Hunter. They're 2 guys, to shut up the detractors. What detractors? The same people that say you can't shut the detractors up, but the detractors or the critics. The problem is if you want to talk about detractors and critics, the problem with critics is they have no moral compass and they have no. They're not honest people. Critics generally are not honest people because today they'll tell you, well, if he beats this guy, he's the best. Okay. And then when he beats him, he goes, yeah, but if you look at his record, or they'll say, yeah, he beat this guy, but he wasn't the very best. Look at Mayweather, the perfect example. Yeah, Mayweather was unbeaten, and he fought the best in his era. No, he didn't quite fight the best in his era because he fought guys that some of the guys were a little bit overhill. Oh, yeah, but he didn't fight Golovkin. Yeah, but, he fought Canelo, but Canelo was younger. But if he fought Canelo now, Canelo would beat him. This sort of garbage. That's the sort of crap that critics come from. So what you've got to do when you're talking to critics, you've got to look along you've got to look at the critics and you've got to ask yourself the question by the critics and say to yourself, okay, when a guy's criticizing, when your critic is criticizing, do they actually stick to what they say? Do they say, oh yeah, you know what? If this guy beats this guy, yeah, he's the best, and stick by that? Or do they come up with a crap after the fight and say, yeah, well, the guy was old, or he didn't really look right, and them type of people you're never going to please. But critics that give praise and give credit, I want to hear what they've got to say. So critics, I don't know. Let me get this screen up a bit because let's see what it's saying. Big Rotten Apple says, hey Ingram, are you going to make a video on Joyce leaving Abel Sanchez and choosing Alan Booth as his trainer? Okay. We can talk about it now. Abel Sanchez, as much as I love Abel Sanchez, lot of questions to ask yourself. With Abel Sanchez, he didn't want Joe Joyce to fight Luis Ortiz. I think he made a statement about it. I don't know if that's because of location. I think the best way to deal with this problem or to deal with this is to get Sam Jones on the line. I think maybe getting Sam Jones in the room and having a word with Sam Jones might be a way forward. So if I can get Sam Jones, the promoter or the manager of Joe Joyce in the room, it's best that I talk to him rather than me have ideas. But it could just be the fact that they want to be closer to home. It could just be the fact that they want to be closer to home. I don't know. But the best way to solve that is get the man in the room to talk about it. So what I'm going to do right now as we speak, I'm going to give my man Sam Jones, no relation, but I'm going to give Sam Jones a little bell. Well, I'm going to try to. My phone looks like it's dying. It's dead on me. Well, that don't help. Oh, no, my phone's firing itself up now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly tweet Sam Jones. Get your questions in while and I will try and get Sam Jones, see if you'd like to come on the show. He's Mr. Spontaneous. He'd do it. Let me see if I can get Sam Jones in the room. If not now, we get him later to have a little chat with him. how he sees his hold. It's not there. I have to come out of this. Okay. Let me get on him now. I will see if I can get Sam Jones. Keep asking your question. I'm just on my Twitter page at the moment. Going to get across to my man Sam because we can find out some more information. And it'd be interesting because he says he would like to see Joyce in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Now that'd be an interesting fight. That'd be a real fast track. I'm not sure how. Let me have a word with. Let's see if we can get Sam Jones in the house. I'm sure he'd love to talk about it. Remy's tweeting now. Hey, Sam. I'm just tweeting him now. Just DM'd him. He's really good at getting back at DM. So let's see how that works out. So, yeah. So my thoughts on Joshua versus Miller. Maybe Miller said something upset somebody. Maybe he really did do to get the old PEDs going. And, you know. So we'll see. Hey, just got back to Sam now. He says, I said as soon as possible to him. Let's see what he's saying. So I told you Sam would be up for it. That's how we roll here, us Joneses. What's up, Hamza? How we go? Do you think Adam Booth will be a change in style? Is this a good choice? I personally don't think that at the age of Joyce, he's going to change his style that much. But he certainly needs to work on his defense. No, I don't think his career will be over. I can't see Joe Miller's career being over. What? Yeah, I've still got Sam here. I think I'm going to see if I can get him in the room. That'd be great because at least we can get somebody in and talking about what's going on. Let's see what he's saying. Let's see what he says. So yeah, Adam Booth. We know what Booth's style is. Booth likes guys that can punch hard and can move quick. I don't know if Booth and Joyce is a good combination. I don't know if it's a good fit because Booth is speed and power and elusiveness. Joyce is flat-footed. This is not disrespectful. Flat-footed, moves in straight lines and gets tagged with big shots. And he hasn't got the fastest hands in the world. So if you look at all of Booth's fighters, they're very much in and out, catch of a shot and get out of there. When you look at someone like Joe Joyce, not being disrespectful, Joe Joyce is that kind of style. Joe Joyce is the kind of guy that's going to stand in front of you and just bludgeon you with big shots and look to take you out of there. He'll engage, whereas Booth fighters don't engage as much. They pick and choose when they engage. So yeah. Now, in terms of if I was smart, if I were managing Joshua, do you know who I'd fight in America? Apart from Hunter, a real chess move. I'd fight Manuel Shah. I'd pick up the WBA regular belt. You know why? Because that shuts off anybody else making any other type of money with a belt in their hand, claiming to be a champion. If you want to be real ruthless, that's what you do. You get Shah to sell his belt, and that was a regular belt, and that shuts off any chance of a Dillian White going that way or any other heavyweight going that direction, because Joshua's got the WBA belt, and then that would be a real chess move right there. That would be a right chess move right there. That would also shut out Joe Joyce. That would shut Joe Joyce out as well, because if Joe Joyce was looking to go and fight for the WBA title, and if that was planning, then what you do to shut Joe Joyce down is that you go for the WBA regular title. That's why I want to get Sam Jones in the room. And see if Sam's going to respond. But I'm still waiting for him to respond. What are you saying? This is okay. Let me see if I can bring him in the room for you guys. If we can get Sam Jones in the room, that'd be a bit of coup, wouldn't it? I bet you'd love that. Let me see if we can get Sam Jones in the room. We do that then. See if we can get a picture of Joe in here as well, so we can get another picture, so we can get. Bear with me a second, people. I'll be in a second. Just give me a second. See what we can do here for you. Here we go. There we go. We've got Joe Joyce. Picture the man at the moment. So he decides to go and join Adam Booth. Again, I think Joyce is a danger man. I think Adam Booth, if he can give Joyce, get Joyce to move with his feet more, I think that works well. So we're just waiting to see whether well, let's just talk about this for a second. We'll talk about this and see if we can get Sam to come in the room while we're talking about it. We'll give him a few minutes. Let's see. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Ruben Guerrero says, not sure what Booth adds to Joyce, though Abel's a good choice to teach Joyce to cut off ring better and get guys out of there. Yeah, that's great. But he was copying some shots there against Stavern. So yeah, if you get the WBA belt, if I'm Joshua's people, I pay Char whatever he's asking for, within reason. Whatever he's asking for, and they beat him up, knock him out, take him out of the equation, take that WBA belt. It shuts Joe Joyce down. It shuts Dillian White down, and anybody else who was trying to make money off that WBA belt. Because I will say, once you get that WBA belt, you are considered a world champion, regardless of what the boxing fans think. You're still considered a world champion, right? You're still considered a world champion. So I would have done it. I mean, Joyce's team looked like they were going that way. I think they were going to be either number 1 or number 2 contender for the title, or number 3. Char's not known in the US, though. Will that fight sell in the Garden? Well, if you listen to his promoter, Joshua sells anywhere in the world because he's a global star. Well, that's if you listen to his promoter. I personally think Michael Hunter would be a better fit. Luis Ortiz, of course, because everyone knows Luis Ortiz. Kubrat Pulev. Now, Kubrat Pulev wouldn't be a bad opponent either, simply because Kubrat has recently fought in America, and Kubrat Pulev has had all those stories about Kubrat Pulev. But the cut over Kubrat Pulev's eye might be a problem as well. Rotten Apple, Big Rotten Apple says, I was thinking the same. Abel's a better choice based on Joyce's physical attributes. Booth seems like a weird choice. I never understand why people never use Peter Fury. I don't understand it. Peter Fury has had one world champion of Tyson Fury, another world champion with, almost world champion with Hugh Fury, depending on how you view it. So Peter Fury is a very good trainer. But then people say Adam Booth's a good trainer as well because of what he did with David Haye. Joshua needs to raise his profile in the US, plus the zone needs to put up fights to captivate the US market. Shah will not do that. I agree with you, Hamza, totally. Hopefully AJ fight Shah would be a massive middle finger to the US and shut out White. Yes. Joyce with better ring cutting skills would be a dangerous man. Joyce with a better defense would be a better fighter, I think. Got a lot more longevity in his career. Just waiting for Sam Jones. I don't know how much longer we're going to wait for Sam Jones. We will probably kick on in a minute. Power move by AJ. If you want to make money, you have to come through me. That's it. So you're either AJ or Wilder if you do the WBA thing. If Matchroom do that, then it's a power move. And they've got that'd be good sense to do that. But Pulev would be ideal. Older, already got the cut. So there's by June that cut should have cleared up. But of course, remember, he's got all that hype behind him so far because of the Jenny Sushi situation. So Pulev will be well known in America, well marketed in America. So Matchroom don't have to do much work with promoting Pulev, the guy that kissed the girl after the interview. Joshua, the good guy. Pulev, the bad guy. It's Bulgaria versus the UK. That's how that would work out. So in terms of marketing, that would work out quite well. Pulev, eye damage. Why would he jump in the ring so fast? How much million? 6 million? 6.5 million? I jump in the ring that fast for 6.5 million. And he's in shape. And he's fought a big heavyweight already. So why would you not jump back in the ring to make good money? I don't see any problem with that. You got to remember, in the olden days, guys were fighting every week. Joshua ain't known in the US. I agree with you, Hamza. Boxing ain't even that popular over there. It's an e-sport. I would take what Eddie Hearn says with a grain of salt, Ingram. I always do. You know me. If Joshua still fighting, will they replace Miller? I'm sure they will. Eddie Hearn promoting it as the superior being versus the caveman. Well, that's sort of. I told you. If you remember rightly, when I did this show before, I said that Kubrat Pulev, he would be next in line to fight Joshua because of they've already built it. Kubrat Pulev with that kiss.
Pulev ain't fighting Joshua.
Hold on. Have I got somebody? Just a second. Ah, the man's in the room. Sam Jones is in the room, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing, Sam?
What's happening, guys?
First of all, congratulations. The fight was...
Thank you.
Got to say that. We were just talking about your boy, Joe Joyce. And first of all, thank you for coming on the show. The talk of now you've now got Joyce training with Adam Booth instead of Abel Sanchez. Why is that?
At this point in Joe's career, we can't make mistakes. It's there's been absolutely no. I've spoken to Abel Sanchez today. Literally, we this has been happening for quite a bit, but there's no problems with Abel Sanchez. But we have to make. Joe's 33. We can't afford to make mistakes, and Adam Booth believes he can do something, add something to Joe's game, and that's what we need. We're moving into the top level of boxing, so. We've joined forces with Adam Booth.
Can I play Mr. Chessmaker just for 1 second to hear your thoughts on this? Okay, Manuel Shah is the WBA regular title holder, right?
Manuel Shah is a disgrace.
I'm well aware of that. But Manuel Shah could potentially, if Joshua's smart and his people are smart, they take the WBA belt. They fight Manuel Shah in America. They take the WBA belt, and then there's only two routes to go through: Joshua and Wilder. If they did that fight, and that would basically shut yourself out and shut Dillian White out as well, quite possibly.
Do you know why that won't happen?
Why?
Joshua will fight Manuel Shah, and then he'll vacate the belt because his mandatory is a guy called Trevor Bryant.
Yes.
But the next in line is Joe Joyce is above the ranking. Joe Joyce is one below Anthony Joshua now. He's a WBA gold heavyweight champion. So Joshua ain't gonna fight Brian, and he definitely ain't gonna be do his and fight Joe as a mandatory yet. Anyway.
So the other guy I was thinking would be, because of the hype behind him at the moment and the Jenny Sushi and the lap dancing, Kubrat Pulev. The US market would know him.
Mate, the problem with Pulev is like that fight just doesn't excite you, does it? Like that's not giving the boxing fans hard-ons, is it?
No, it isn't. But it's bringing money in. But let's be honest. Did Crawford versus Lomachenko did it give you a hard-on?
No. Do you know what it did? Do you know what it did, that fight? Anthony Crawford went there because he was mandatory challenger, and look, he wanted to test himself against the best and against the best fighter in the world. Kubrat Pulev got knocked out 10 years ago by Klitschko. No one's bothered about Kubrat Pulev.
No one's bothered about him, but that's Jenny Sushi. From a promotional standpoint, the lady that was doing the lap dance on the guy's on his lap basically, and him kissing her, the US market would know him.
Yeah, so if you look at it, it's from the fight can't happen in the UK. The fight can't happen in the UK. If Joshua fights in the UK again, it has to be against Fury, Dillian White, or Joe Joyce. It's as simple as that.
So, all right, those are the two guys. The other guy that if it were me, I would put Michael Hunter in the ring with Joshua.
Nah,
why?
Come on now. Michael Hunter will get knocked out in 4 rounds against Joshua.
Well, that's what they want. They want that sensational 4-round knockout, and it looks good on Joshua, and he can get out of Madison Square Garden pleasing the crowd and the US public as well.
The problem is, right? Michael Hunter, he's okay. Michael Hunter, I actually rate. Don't get it twisted. I rate Michael Hunter, but Michael Hunter's just, if you look at his body shape, he's just a fat cruiserweight. That's all he is. He's too lazy to make cruiserweight. That's all it is.
So then who would you suggest, apart from your boy, to fight Joshua?
What? The Madison Square Garden? It's got to be Luis Ortiz. It's got to be.
But all right. I see that, and I get that, and I mentioned this before. But you know how it goes. When you mention a fighter's name, people say, yeah, that's a great fight. You put the two guys together, and then what they're going to tell you is, well, he got knocked out by Wilder, he's 50 years old.
No, I get that. But I'm talking about in a 6-week period of time. Or you put the bold Polish man in there, don't you? That's what you do.
Who's that? Konatski?
Yeah, Konatski, because he comes to fight. Do you know what I mean? Konatski comes to fight, and he'll make it interesting for however long he'll get knocked out, but it'll be interesting for how long he acts because he will go to try and do Joshua over, but it just won't happen because he'll just get hit too often and too clean.
Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz, oh come on, man, come on.
Good chin, takes a good shot, punches a bit.
Andy Ruiz is
good hand speed.
Yeah, he's got good hand speed, but he's incredibly fat. And
so what's Jarrell Miller then? Wait, what's Jarrell Miller?
Listen to me. I said today on Twitter, nobody can say. People are like, oh, Joe Joyce isn't qualified to fight Joshua. What? And Jarrell Miller is juiced up on contaminated hamburgers and a stunning win against Bogdan Dinu. Come on, man.
Wait, I've never thought that was a great fight in the first place.
No. The only reason why the fight's been happening for months. That fight's been in place.
You know what's happening when he was on Soccer AM?
100%. As soon as they put Big Baby Miller on Soccer AM, people.
There you go. Do you know how it goes?
2 and 2 together, and you just realise he's fighting. Look, people like Callum Smith. They can't afford to pay him in the UK anymore. He has to fight in America. Same as Joshua. Joshua's getting paid his career highest purse to fight Jarrell Miller. If I was Anthony Joshua, I've got mad respect for Anthony Joshua because he's a great businessman, and you've got to be a great businessman in boxing. You've got to be. So Joshua's doing what's best for him, and he may as well stay in America because he's gonna get paid a lot better. And he's fighting Jarrell. He was gonna fight Jarrell Miller. If he fights Luis Ortiz, that's a harder fight for Joshua, even though he is 106 years old.
You just said it yourself then. So the man can't win. If he beats Miller...
Yo, you can't win in boxing. You can never win in boxing. Never. You can never win in boxing. I told you this, didn't I? I told you. What they're going to say when Joe beats Stiverne? Stiverne's fat and 40. He got knocked out in his last fight. If Stiverne had beat Joe, what do you say? Joe's slow and old and shit anyway. You can never win in boxing.
Okay, so the question I've got to ask you now, the Booth dynamic with Joe Joyce sounds really interesting because we know that Booth trains a style which is very elusive, lots of good footwork, in and out, angles. How do you think at 33 Joe Joyce is going to be able to use that style?
Joe Joyce, listen, you can't. He's not going to change Joe Joyce from what he is. He's going to tweak Joe Joyce. You can't change Joe. Joe Joyce is what he is.
Okay.
Joe Joyce is what he is. He's a monster. You can't tell Joe, don't be a come forward fighter anymore. That's like telling a prostitute not to be a prostitute. It's not going to happen.
Actually, technically, if you paid the prostitute enough money and said, you know what, don't be a prostitute anymore. You can be my wife. I'll pay you good money.
Yeah, you give her 300 quid, and then she'd stop being a prostitute. Yeah, she'd stop being a prostitute for the hour.
I'm not sure about all that, Sam. I don't know about that. Let's leave prostitutes out of here.
Get it in. No. I don't know how we got into that conversation, but
no, I don't know. But it's interesting.
Yeah, Joe Joyce, he's not gonna change Joe Joyce from what he is. He's got his strengths, but he's gonna tweak him. Just tweak him.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Were you happy? Okay, because you see Stiverne is a step-up fight, and that...
No, I was not happy. I was not 100% happy with Joe's performance against Stiverne. Joe was falling asleep, punching him in the head.
And that's dangerous because he was getting caught with shots back, and in the heavyweight division, one shot...
Joe got caught with about 4 shots Joe got caught with. He got caught with a big, decent one in I think it's the first or the second round. He got caught with a few silly shots. But what I'm saying is, every heavy you're going to get hit in fights. Joe gets hit a lot less than what people think he gets hit. Trust me. He gets hit a lot less. Like that shot that he got hit with, that just shows. Look, listen, Stiverne, whatever he thinks of me and whatever I think of him, he can punch. You don't lose a punch when you're a heavyweight. You don't lose it. Like that's not what you lose. Mike Tyson had his punch until his last fight, but Mike Tyson was shot to pieces. You know what I mean? So, but Stiverne, to his credit, one tough bastard. He took all those shots, but Stiverne was dangerous for every moment in that ring. He was dangerous. But when he hit Joe in the face, and he's seen that he didn't even as much as budge Joe. Stiverne, I believe, knew that he weren't winning that fight because
that was it. If he had landed a right hand and it had budged Joe Joyce, it would have been more interesting. But Joe showed he had a good chin. But the best chin is one that don't get hit.
There you go. That's exactly right. So we need Joe to be a bit more careful. We need to listen. We're just tweaking him. But again, we have to work fast at a faster pace than other people. Not recklessly, but this is what we have to do. And Adam Booth will tell you this himself, was our first choice anyway.
Okay. Was it not? Did it have anything to do with location and being back in the UK?
No, nothing to do with that. Would go training in the North Pole if it meant Joe would be the best Joe Joyce. Makes no difference. Boxing's a short career. You've got to make sacrifices.
Okay. Would you have ever considered? I have to throw the name out there. Peter Fury.
100%. Joe trained with Peter Fury for a little bit, but the problem is right there with Peter is Peter can't actually get into the United States, right? Peter can't get into the United States, like because obviously the past things. But Peter was 100%. Peter should be Peter should be a lot more highly regarded than what he is right now, because ultimately Peter took Tyson Fury to the heavyweight championship of the world and and he carved out the game plan for one of the biggest upsets in recent memory. People seem to forget that. So props to Peter Fury.
Absolutely. So what's the story now with Joe? Because if Joshua does take the chance and he does take the shot, where does that leave you guys?
Don't worry about us. We're nice. We have a mandatory for 3 titles. We're nice.
So what are you going to do next? What's next? What's up next? What's cooking?
Can't tell you that. With some there's a big daddy announcement coming next week.
Is it another step up fight?
You're gonna see. There's an announcement happening.
Well, okay. Listen. I've heard many announcements in boxing, right? David Haye has a few announcements, had nothing to do with boxing, but they were good announcements. But is this a boxing fight announcement, or is this an announcement? Because you've now announced you've got a trainer now, a new trainer. So that's an announcement.
There's going to be an announcement that people are going to be interested in. It's a very, very good announcement, I promise.
Is it Adam Booth training with Joe Joyce? Is that the announcement?
Nah, you've seen that happen tonight.
You're sure, but you can do a press conference for that as well.
Nah, we don't need to do a press conference to announce Adam Booth as our trainer.
So then it's fight news then.
Yeah, it's fight news. But it's interesting. Be patient. It's happening.
Okay, and you're happy with it?
We're very happy with it. We're doing what's necessary for Joe right now. But we're in a very, very good position. He's above number 1 in the. He's very highly ranked in the WBA. He's mandatory for Manuel Char. He's mandatory for Ajit Kabayel. And if
the European title, how close are you to a European title fight? Is that something you're not interested in?
He's mandatory.
Okay, so that's a fight you'll take.
100%. But will he?
What about the British title? Who's the British champion?
Yeah, we've said very openly, and Joe says very regularly that he'll fight Daniel Dubois, no problem. But the money's got to be right, because again, there's all this talk about who's an A side, Joe is definitely the A side against Daniel Dubois. We're number 1 in the WBA. With Daniel Dubois fought nobody. Do you know what I mean? He's fought. I don't care what anybody says about Stiverne or the Lenroy Thomas. Joe fought Ian Lewison on his debut. Joe's way, way ahead of Daniel Dubois. So if they want, and you are serious about that fight, you have to pay.
Now, I was in Germany, and I also I sent you the interview I did with Vlad Tsarenko, who sparred with Joe, and he sparred with Dubois.
I like Vlad Tsarenko. He's a very nice kid.
And he said that if he put Joe Joyce in a room with Daniel Dubois, he said that Joe Joyce beats Daniel Dubois. He's not experienced enough.
Trust me. Listen, I'm not just saying that because I genuinely believe Daniel Dubois will win a world title at some point if he's handled correctly and matched correctly. But Daniel Dubois is a serious talent, but not yet. Joe Joyce would crush him.
Why would they put that fight together now?
Because me personally, because Tyson Fury's doing his thing in America. Anthony Yard looks like he's going to Russia. BT Sport need a headliner. They need a headliner. So I do believe they want the fight. I genuinely do believe they're saying they want the fight, but saying it and making it happen is another thing, isn't it? Like I'm not saying Joe Joyce is Anthony Joshua. We're not saying that, but Joe Joyce for this fight, Joe's got Joe's got a lot more on the line than what he has, and we are so far advanced to Daniel Dubois. It's like telling Anthony Joshua to fight for a European title. Do you know what I mean? It's just like we've took the steps. Like how do you think Daniel Dubois would do against Stiverne?
I'd like to see the fight.
Me too. I'd like to see him in against even Lenroy Thomas. Honestly, like, I want to see how he gets on against these type of guys.
How does he do against Nathan Gorman?
And I think Nathan Gorman beats him right now. Style's all wrong for him.
But why would Warren want to put him in with a guy like Nathan Gorman?
Who? Dubois.
Warren. Yeah, Dubois, yeah.
It's an easy fight to make. A lot of people want to see it. And whoever loses can come back. Young kids.
Okay. The fight this weekend, Dave Allen versus Lucas Brown. What do you thought?
I think Lucas Brown is the worst heavyweight I've seen for a long time.
Oh, shit. You think you'll get an invite on Sky to talk?
It's a bit harsh, but I think Lucas, when I saw Dylan White chin him the way he did, I just thought, come on now, there's the... Look, if Lucas Brown, I'm a bit harsh there, but like if Lucas Brown turns up in the shape when he beat Chagayev, then we're in for a good night. But if there's Lucas Brown that turns up, I mean, I don't care if he's lost a bit of weight. If the Lucas Brown that turns up against Dylan White or that journeyman he fought in Scotland, then surely Dave Allen's going to win the fight. But you just don't know, do you? You just don't know, because Lucas Brown, to his credit, can punch like a horse. So
I've said it before. That's a concern.
And Dave Allen saying that he can't be knocked out. Well,
that's not good. That's not good.
That's not a good mentality to go into a fight like that against. Because if Lucas Brown puts one on anybody's chin, they're going to know about it.
That's not good. That's not good. Our best chin is one that don't get hit. That's the best chin.
Yeah,
You okay?
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I was reading a message. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. So okay, fair. I'm not gonna keep you much longer. Because people are asking questions. Someone is saying here, it's Rekka Hakkinen says you need to listen to Abel. You're going to get your man seriously hurt. You know nothing about boxing.
Who said that?
Rekka Hakkinen. Rekka Hakkinen. He's saying that he says that he should have stuck with Abel Sanchez and not gone to Adam Booth.
Is that right? Okay. What's Rekka Hakkinen?
What are your thoughts on it?
What does Rekka Hakkinen do for a living?
I'd like to know. Rekka Hakkinen, what do you do for a living, my friend?
What do you do for a living? That's all I'm asking. What do you do for a living? And also,
I've just got some news come through here. I hope it's not true. Well, it might be true. It says here, somebody just come in and says that your boy's fighting Marco Huck. Is that true?
What?
That's not true.
Well, if he's fighting Marco Huck, that's the first I know about it.
Good. Well, we've got to shut that down straight away. Thank you very much for that, Sam. That's not true. Joe Joyce is not fighting Marco Huck.
Joe Joyce is not fighting Marco Huck.
And are you fighting Shannon the Cannon Briggs?
Shannon the Cannon, bless him, Shannon's not fighting. He's not fighting ever again, is he? He's just a hype man, isn't he? Like, if Joe fought Shannon the Cannon, I'd get put in prison. Come on, man, leave it out.
I can see Sky Sports are gonna love you.
I'm real, mate. I just say it how it is, isn't it? Like, it is what it is.
Okay, you're gonna say it how it is. This weekend, Khan versus Crawford. Khan's gonna shock the world.
Oh, I'd love to see. I mean, Terence Crawford is genuinely probably my favourite fighter. Genuinely my favourite fighter. But I just would love to see Amir Khan do it. But ultimately, I see him doing really well for about 3 or 4 rounds, and then the same kind of story that like not clip, just it's Crawford's timing is ridiculously good. So I see Crawford winning by knockout, but I would love to see Amir Khan win.
You mean love it like Kevin Keegan? Love it, that sort of love it?
I would love it if he beats him. I would love it. Yeah, I would love it, mate. I was old enough for that, mate. I remember him saying that interview.
Okay.
That big maroon Adidas jacket.
Yes, I remember it very well. I remember it. I remember that, and there's the one where Collingwood scored the goal and it all went wrong for Keegan.
What? Going back to this Ricky Hackenden that was giving me advice. Yeah. In 8 professional fights, Joe Joyce is mandatory for a world title, mandatory for a European title, mandatory for a British title, undefeated, and beat Bermain Stavern in his last fight.
It says, Rick Hatton says, he's a Formula One driver. Somebody says here, Marco Huck versus Joe Joyce to be announced next week. Says SGS Fight Club.
Marco Huck is not fighting Joe Joyce next week. He's not getting announced next week.
Okay, we'll shut that down. Abel knows Joyce isn't anywhere near ready. Exactly why he kept him from Ortiz, while Sam was trying to get
No. It's not true. I keep saying this. I always said from day one, Joe will fight Luis Ortiz in 2019. We're still in 2019 and we're in April. Yeah. Abel said that 1 or 2 fights were ready for Luis Ortiz. Watch the interview. That's this year.
Okay, so there we go. I like you, Sam. I like the way that you convey your message to the trolls. You do need to do that,
mate. The trolls. The other thing is with trolls, I don't mind them at all. No problem. Because if you look at trolls, the ones that troll, they've never got their real profile picture because they're all too ugly. Their parents hate them, and they're sat there in a box room with their disgusting hands, with their mold all on the wallpaper, giving people abuse that are doing better than them. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. I've got time. Boxing fans, if they give me negative feedback, that's no problem. Every fan is entitled to be. But when you get personal, I just think your parents must hate you. You don't do very well. You just like get a job. Just get a job. Do something. Do you know what I mean? So
it says here. It continues by saying, "I says Stavern is shot to pieces, and he still was landing huge shots in him." This is what Rick Hatton continues to say.
Okay.
Then Ruben Guerrero jumps in and says, Joyce walks through Ortiz. Old man can't live with Joe's pace. Heart can't hack it.
Listen, I've told you this before. Luis Ortiz is a great fighter, unbelievable fighter. Joe would walk through him and smash him to pieces. He is 100 years old.
A fight I would like to see actually is Joe Joyce versus Michael Hunter.
That's a good fight. Good, very, very good fight. Very, very good fight. We said when we was talking to Al Heyman, we said we'd fight Michael Hunter, but his team weren't interested in it.
I'm still waiting for Michael Hunter to get back to me actually, because he was meant to talk to me to try and get this. Try and see whether he wants to get himself in the Joshua stakes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Michael Hunter put in there, but I just think it'd be very, very underwhelming if he was the opponent confirmed.
If you were going to guess who the opponent would be, who would it be?
I can see it being... I can see Eddie genuinely wanting Luis Ortiz because he knows that that he has to do good numbers, and Luis Ortiz is a big name in America. I could see it I could honestly see somebody like Manuel Char getting it.
There you go. That's a mastermind. If they do that, that's just shutting everybody out if they do that for the WBO.
but the thing is, if they do that, it's just such a like. Come on. Oh,
it's
man,
a
but then that'll mean Joe Joyce is mandatory for Anthony Joshua. So great.
But Joshua would say, well, Kubrat Pulev's a mandatory for me as well.
Yeah, so then Joshua's gonna have to start vacating belts, isn't it? It's a fact. He's gonna have to vacate belts soon.
Do you think the public will allow Joshua to fight Pulev, and then and where does Dillian White fit into all of this?
Dillian's not going to fight Joshua at Madison Square. I like Dillian White though. I can't believe he's not boxed for a world title yet. Doing what
I spoke to Bob Arum. I spoke to Bob Arum. Did it out interview Bob. I said, Bob, what do you think about Dillian White and what should happen? I think a week later, Dillian went out to meet Bob Arum, and Bob was saying, look, we can give you a deal, get you a couple of American fights, and also give you a higher profile than you would have here in the UK.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Dillian White's got to just keep doing what's best for Dillian White. You've got to be selfish in boxing, honestly. You've got to make the right decisions. I don't think Eddie Hearn's done Dillian White any harm though, because he's a pay-per-view fighter. He's earning a lot of money. But I think Dillian does deserve a world title shot.
I mean, all right. What did Jarrell Miller do to earn a world title shot ahead of Dillian White?
Talk shit. That's all he did. Just his ability to talk. Joe Joyce would have smashed Jarrell Miller to pieces, whether he had drugs in his tits or not.
What was the story about that anyway? About Jarrell Miller and Joyce? Because I know Joyce was calling him out. Is it him that called him out?
We said we'll fight Jarrell Miller because he was calling out David Allen and David Price, and we said we'll fight him. We'll fight him. We'll take a pay cut. We'll fight him, no problem. And then he was like, "Okay, pay me $1 million and pay me $1 million or $2 million." I'm like, because he knew what the crack was. I'm not saying he's scared of Joe Joyce because I don't think Jarrell Miller is scared of anyone. I've met him a couple of times in America, and I've had good talks with him. I was actually at a show, sat next to him, like was having a talk about it, and he's a good businessman, Jarrell Miller, but. I think he knew. He looked at Joe. He just looked at Joe. And Joe, sometimes when somebody looks at somebody, you think, yeah. I don't fancy none of that shit. He looked at Joe, and Joe's a lot bigger than what he thought he was. I'm certain of it. Like he looked at Joe and went, "Oh, fuck that."
Didn't want any of it.
Didn't want any of it.
Now, can I throw a? How do I put this out to you? Can I throw an idea out to you? Just an idea. Let me know.
Your ideas are always welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, Sam. That's made my evening. I just got back from Germany, and I appreciate that. So
you know your stuff.
So
why should your opinion not matter? It matters to me.
Let me throw this out at you. I said something about 3 years ago about PEDs. I said PEDs will be used to shut fighters down who don't comply. And fighters that faces don't fit, and then PEDs will also be used when certain people get caught. Certain people will be suspended for a short space of time, and other people will be banned from boxing. Yeah. I saw what happened to Neil Cameron not too long ago, which is disgraceful. What happened to him, and then you look at Canelo at the other end of the scale, who got suspended for 6 months, and then comes back and gets into a super fight. How does that work?
Because if Canelo got banned for 3 years, that's ending a company. That's ending Golden Boy, and the Zone wouldn't have a poster boy, would they? So he's the face of boxing. They just can't afford. So there'd have been money paid. It is what it is. It's the sad reality.
Let me just throw something at you now, and it's just again fiction, and a little bit of Hollywood and stuff. A fighter doesn't comply with the rules. Listen, we're paying you $4.5 million to fight.
Yeah. Take
your money, sit down, shut up, take the money, go home.
Yeah.
That's the script. We got a super fight against Wilder. You're getting in the way. Take your money, go home. Drew Miller says, listen, I ain't doing that shit. I'm coming to take the heavyweight championship world. Are you? I said, okay. Listen, get this guy PD'd up. Next thing you get a story that comes out, he's been PD'd. The guy's career is more or less finito, because once a guy's got PED over your head, that's it. People just, no matter what you do, they consider you PED'd.
That's what I mean. Like Canelo still gets the comments like that. He still and rightfully so. Like Canelo wasn't dealt with properly. He wasn't dealt with properly. Like, come on now. What did he say? Mexican beef. Come on.
Yeah. So this Jarrell Miller situation, what's going to happen with him?
He will get. I reckon they'll punish him quite hard. To be fair.
But you see, he's made some comments already that have not been very. He's made some comments about Joshua and he
didn't help himself, saying that Joshua was the one taking drugs, and then he gets caught a few weeks later. The fact is, the drug that he take was one of the same ones that Lance Armstrong took for cycling for endurance. So he's just out and out cheating.
See, now the thing is, if it's true, then yeah, he's been caught. But if it's a way to get a guy out of the mix because he won't follow the script, then what happens? Because it does that exist in boxing?
I don't see the case. They're not going to like contaminate something like so close to a mega fight. They're just not going to do it. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're going to deal with him. But I just hope he gets. I hope he gets dealt with properly. Like you can't be having drug cheats in boxing. It's just like it's no. But
what about if he's innocent though?
I don't think he is innocent.
See, but you haven't given the guy a chance. I mean, you don't think he's innocent. I mean, if he's been stitched up,
he's failed a drug test. He's failed a drug test.
Let me ask you a question. If your boy Joe Joyce goes to America to fight in a world title fight, and you know your boy's clean, yet he gets done with PEDs, how are you going to respond to it now?
But that's just like saying if my auntie had grew a pair of massive balls, will she be my uncle? That's the same thing as saying
no, it's not. Joe Joyce is your fighter. Joe Joyce is your fighter.
He's not failing a drug test, and I know where you're going with it, but like,
yeah.
I understand your point, but he's not going to fail a drug test, and if he did go out to America, we'd make sure.
But hold up,
food was.
Billy Joe Saunders was ripping Canelo to shreds.
That was a nasal. Billy Joe Saunders got done for a flipping nasal spray.
But he's a professional fighter.
Yeah, I get that. It might have been careless, but it was a nasal spray. It genuinely was a nasal spray. So it depends what, like, if you're coming out and you're putting stuff to increase your endurance, you're a cheater. If you're putting anabolic steroids, if you're injecting your arse to fill it up with testosterone, you're a cheater. Do you know what I mean? Like, but putting a nasal spray up your nostril is not cheating, in my opinion. Which is the reason why he's allowed to continue to.
Again, I like Billy. I like Billy Joe Saunders. Some of the things he's done are a bit crazy, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're a professional fighter, and you've seen other people get caught with similar things. Why would you even take a chance?
As I say, I'm not defending Billy. I'm saying it's a bit careless from his point. But yeah, there's a difference between taking something that's going to help your endurance to helping you breathe.
All right, fair enough. Sam, is there anything you'd like to add before you how about this fight for you? Joe Joyce versus Martin Bakole. How about that?
Come on, man. Why?
Oh my gosh!
Come on.
Is that not a good fight?
It's not a good fight. Martin Bakole, I did the Marius Wack fight for him. I did the fight for him.
So not a good fight.
It's not for Joe Joyce. I'd go to prison if I put him in with Martin Bakole. Facts. Say whatever you want about me. Facts.
Okay, Sam. Thank you for jumping on the show. Really appreciate you, as always. Good sport. And we'll talk to you soon.
Take care, mate.
Yeah, all the best, Sam. Appreciate you. There we go. We've just had Sam there. Sam Jones, manager of Joe Joyce. So we'll continue the show. Brown Allen. Let's talk about Lucas Brown and Dave Allen for a second. Thank you again to Sam Jones for jumping on there, being very, saying his piece, which we always appreciate from him. Guys, can't assume stitch up as given Ingram. That should be the first thing you assume when somebody fails. Well, you say I'm being a bit cynical, and I understand that, but I also understand that, and we're very quick to judge people and say, yeah, you've done it, you're guilty, without looking at the full evidence. And there are times that people have been innocent. There are people who've been sent to prison who've been innocent. 20 years later, we found out they were innocent and they ain't done anything. So yes, I appreciate if a person is been done with PEDs and they've been caught and they're as guilty can be, then yeah, hell, they should get the whole book thrown at them. And that includes Canelo. There should be no favoritism in the sport, regardless if you are Golden Boy and multi-million pound company and you're the face of Golden Boy, or you are, a small hall fighter and you're earning 500 quid a fight. It don't make a difference. If you get caught, you get caught. Either you get caught, you should be punished. Otherwise, then everyone should be on PEDs. That's it. Then that way, nobody can, there's going to be no advantage one way or the other. But having said that, I had this conversation the other day. Somebody said to me, what you have some chemist will get one PED stronger than another PED, and the whole thing will go to complete rack and ruin. But anyway, those are just thoughts. That's subjective. It wasn't allowed in the US. That's it. Got nothing against Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, so that's fantastic. Let's talk about Brown versus Allen. First of all, I want to say, Dave Allen. I remember talking to Dave Allen the days where he could only sell 3 or 4 tickets. He now is headlining at Sky. And I said to him, eventually, Dave, you're going to get there. You're going to get to headline. You're going to get to top of the bill. It will happen. You just need to stick with the process and keep working. He's top of the bill. This is a great opportunity for Dave Allen to showcase his ability. I remember when Dave used to tell me he'd be in his one-room bed sit and he's sparring guys like Spilka and being used as a sparring partner to gain experience. I remember all those stories, and he wanted to quit boxing. I told him, hang in there, stick with it. So he's top of the bill now. Yeah, my only concern, 2 concerns I've got about this fight with Dave Allen. First concern, and the main concern, is mental strength. Physically, I mean, he can handle himself. I know that firsthand. You tried trying to spin a heavyweight, and you're light heavyweight trying to spin a heavyweight in a ring. I tried to spin Dave Allen when we were working out together. I did a round with him, and the guy is rock solid. He's very, very strong, physically very strong. Now, the thing about Dave Allen is this. He can punch. He takes a good shot. Defense, questionable. Very questionable defense. Lucas Brown takes a decent shot, but he's a thunderous puncher. The one thing I'm concerned about Dave Allen, he's saying that Lucas Brown can't knock him out. Listen, be silly enough to believe that there are so many fighters in world boxing previously who've had as good a chin as Allen who've been knocked out. Dave Allen doesn't want to believe in his chin to the point where, he leaves his chin out and Lucas Brown catches him with a big shot. He doesn't want that happening. You don't want to get hit with Lucas Brown. To me, that's not the sort of thing you need to be saying. I'm a bit concerned about that. I'm also concerned that whether Dave is going to be able to respond to the big fight pressure. Will he mentally be able to handle it at the biggest event of his life? Can he handle that? He's top of the bill. He's the last guy on. Everyone's talking to him. Everyone's talking about him being top of the bill. He's talking about being top of the bill. Lucas Brown is different. He's been top of the bill before. He's an experienced fighter, a former world champion. And Lucas Brown's looking for redemption in the UK. So, is this really it for Dave Allen? Where is he? I mean, Dave Allen's lost the fight before. He can say come back again. But this is Dave's opportunity. It really is his opportunity. But if he goes out and he boxes like he fought against that Mexican or that Argentinian guy, then, don't be surprised to see Lucas Brown cause an upset here, because Lucas Brown can punch, got a decent jab in him. His boxing skills aren't great, but he's got experience. He's got experience, former world champion, and he's fought at the highest level. He got in the ring against Shagayev, away from home, get off the deck, and you knock out Shagayev, that is some feat. He's been in the ring with guys like James Toney. Well, goes Dillian White as well. So it's all going to be about application from Dave Allen, what sort of shape he's in, how his relationship with Darren Barker works. He seems to be in good shape from this photo. But we'll have to wait and see. The week of the fight, if he can hold his nerve. Fight night, if he can hold his nerve. In the dressing room, if he can hold his nerve. Going through all those fights. I remember sitting in the dressing room with Stavern, and he said to me, you know what? I hate being main event. I said, why is that? He said, because you see everybody go in and do the fighting and come out of the ring, and they come in the dressing room, and we're still waiting to fight. He says, I like to be here on the undercard, get in, do my stuff, and get out. I never quite thought about it that way. So Dave Allen, for me, it's his mental preparation. Can he hold it together? Ruben Gray says, hope Brown wins. Tired of the Allen hype. Can't deal with another card headlining by Brown. How many pay-per-views has Allen been on already where he stunk out the place? See Allen working Brown on stopping him late. Well, I'll tell you something. There is no brownie points for fighting with your face. And if he does think that Brown can't knock him out, and he does, I hope he doesn't really believe that Brown can't knock him out to the point where he's going to stick his chin out and get nailed or something. Brown, believe me, I think Brown is capable of knocking Dave Allen out. Personally, I do. I think Brown's got the power to do it. That's what's concerning me, because Brown has got the power. So he needs to be careful. Any other thoughts there? Now, the main event for me, Saturday night. My boy Terence Crawford is back against Amir King Khan. Yep. What do I think about this fight? Well, it's like the Crawler fight, really. I told you about what was going to happen in that fight. People saying, oh, yeah, Crawler's bigger and he's this and he's that. I said, listen, Lomachenko's going to stop him early in the fight. He'll stop him early. And I see Crawford stopping Khan early. Amir Khan makes way too many mistakes. If you want to have a game plan on how to beat Amir Khan, you just watch how he gets knocked out. He gets knocked out when he's engaging. He gets knocked out when he drops his left hand all the time. The left hand comes out. He's open to getting knocked out by a left hook. He's open to getting knocked out with overhand right. He's open to getting knocked out with straight right hand. When he moves around the ring, you see how when he fought Maidana, not known for his boxing ability. He was moving to his left, moving to his left, got caught with a right hand. Khan has a lot of problems for this fight. He's got fast hands, but you've got to remember, Terence Crawford has got fast hands too, and he can counterpunch, and he can switch from orthodox to southpaw, and he can punch, and he's got great stamina. Khan's only hope for me in this fight is to come out early and to catch Crawford with something early. That's Khan's only hope in this fight. But when he does that, he is walking into... He could get stopped in the first three. I'm telling you. Khan could get stopped in the first three. You're like, why? How do you work that one out? Well, if Samuel Vargas can drop his ass in the second round, then you can be guaranteed Crawford would keep him there. The other thing about Khan is you've got to remember, and I'm not being a Khan hater here. I'm just telling you from patterns. When Khan gets hurt, he's got this thing where he bangs his gloves and he calls a fighter on. Now, you go back and look at tape of the Sammy Vargas fight. Imagine that's Terence Crawford there. Crawford put 4-5 punches together and Crawford's spiteful. You see him there joking and smiling with Khan at the moment. Crawford is spiteful. What he's got is that spiteful viciousness about him. So Khan's all smiling with him now, but I'm telling you, Crawford's going to switch on Khan. It's going to switch on him. And if Khan tries any of that macho stuff, Crawford's going to take him out of there and he'll be brutal with it as well. So I don't see Khan. I see Khan coming out trying to do the stuff that he normally does, but unfortunately, he hasn't got a boxing IQ. He's got speed, but no IQ. What I mean by that is like Khan's got a gun, but he don't know how to pull the trigger. And if he knows how to pull the trigger, he can't shoot. He can't shoot straight. So he makes the same stuff over and over again. Khan doesn't seem to have the ability to adapt, throw the same punches in the same place at the same time, in the same speed. He's like a wind-up toy. Wind him up and he makes the end of the round and wind him up again. Crawford looked like Gennady Golovkin in there. Well, somebody said I look like Gennady Golovkin yesterday. I don't know who said that. But anyway, yeah, my point is this. Makes too many damn mistakes. And he's never fought anybody, Khan, who's got hand speed like Crawford has. So one mistake, if he comes out the blocks in the first 3 rounds, making them same mistakes, and you know what happens with Khan, the first 2 rounds, and have hand speed. And then about the 3rd round, the hands come down. Then he's open to a left hook. He's open to a straight right hand. And he can't fight on the inside. Cannot fight on the inside. Cannot fight with his back against the ropes. And he's not physically very strong compared to Crawford. But we'll see. We shall see. It's only a matter of time. The Khan supporters, when will they ever learn? Go back and look at your boy fight. Watch your boy fight and watch all the ways he's been knocked out. And does he not get knocked out the same way over and over and over again? When he gets dropped the same way. Ingram, those fucks you threw like Golovkin. Yeah, I enjoyed it. If you do get a chance, check out the video of myself working out with James Ali Bashir. It was an absolute honor to work with a legendary coach in James Ali Bashir. I really enjoyed it. Am I doing live commentary? You damn right I'm doing live commentary. Sorry, uppercuts. Thank you. Kyle has always fought like he's a puncher, stay in the pocket too long, thinking the next punch he lands will get him KO'd. That's it. That's it. Nobody taught Kyle the boxing fundamentals. They never taught him the boxing fundamentals. I remember Uncle Bashir was talking in the gym yesterday. He says when Khan boxes and he moves around the ring like he's on skates. Thank you very much, Ruben. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's the first time I hit some pads for a good while. And I'm thankful because my trainer was Steve Robinson's trainer, Ronnie Rush. He was also Barry Jones's trainer as well. Barry Jones, the former WBO featherweight and super featherweight world champion. I was there when he fought De Freitas and dropped De Freitas. Unfortunately, got stopped by De Freitas. So yeah, I agree 100% with your breakdown. Remember when Lamont Peterson was giving Khan problems on the inside, Crawford will do the same. Yeah, but the difference is when Crawford catches Khan, wait for the drill. Crawford's got some serious power. And those people who think that Crawford can't punch, go and see what he did to Jeff Horn. Now, that's a fight I wouldn't mind seeing, Jeff Horn versus Amir Khan. That's the kind of fight that Khan would look really good in, but he's also the kind of fight that Khan would get knocked out in. His boxing IQ ain't changed, and he looked dreadful against Samuel Vargas. You're right, Ingram. Khan lacks fundamentals. Plus, I like the pad work video uploaded. Let haters who don't even show their face and post undishonorable talk. I know. Ingram, what happens when Crawford gets in there 5 rounds in? Oh, 5 rounds in. Well, it's all the matter of then. If Khan is still around if Khan is still there after 5 rounds of Crawford, then this is what will happen. The hands will come down by the sides, and it's just going to be a matter of when. It's only a matter of when. So, but I don't think it goes 5 rounds. I think Crawford gets him before then. Because Khan can't take a shot. And he won't be able to get out of the way of Crawford's accuracy. It's not just speed, accuracy as well. Punching power. Real punching power. So, yeah. I don't know how much more I can talk about. I do have something to share with you. I have a very special Bashir and Serenko. Sweet Science. I'm going to be uploading that. I will be uploading that video. I'm going to be doing some editing, uploading it. It's what I did this time, often when you talk with a fighter and a trainer, you don't really get to see how they put something together. And on this experience, I'm going to put on BWTM Online, you're going to get to see Uncle Bashir up close with a fighter training. We get sometimes to see people working out, but we don't really get to see why a fighter's doing certain things. So you're going to get to see Sorenko and Bashir working together very intently. How did Bashir rate the power on the pad? I did ask him, actually. I'm going to ask him, but there is another. If you go out and check, there's a video I did on the training cave documentary, and there's me and Jack Sunderland on the pads as well. I don't know. I'll have to ask him what he thought of the power. In fact, I'll have to ask him the question live the next time I talk to Uncle Bashir. Bashir said Ingram right hand reminded him of doing things with Vladimir. Yeah, but you know what? Do you know something? We were doing pads. He was teaching me some stuff about you doing pad work. And one of the things I found was really interesting is that for years I was taught how to throw the right hand. But when you talk with pads, you try how to throw the right hand, not straight, but across the body, because the way the pads are held, your tendency to throw the right hand across the body. So he was teaching me on the pads why the right hand goes straight down the pipe as opposed to going across the body. And I was always taught when you throw your shots, make sure that everything, your chin is tucked in and everything is the shoulders and you're like protect you when you throw your shots. But Bashir was showing me when I threw the straight right hand through the middle, he was showing to me what would happen if I threw that right hand to one of his fighters. He said to me that when you throw the right hand across, you open yourself up to get caught with left hooks. And I didn't even think it was possible until he showed me the right hand across. He said, look, this is what I would do with a fight with you. I said, show me. So I was throwing the right hand. He said, right, throw your right hand. He said, yeah, you throw it. He said, what I would do, I would look at you as you throw the right hand. I'd block the right hand. I'd block the right hand. And then I'd slip and I'd look at you and I'd see and I'd wait for you to throw the right hand again. And as you threw the right hand across my body, as you would throw the right hand across, I'd wait for you to dip, throw the right hand, and I'd walk you onto left hook. And he showed me how I'd throw the left hook. It was really interesting with little science, like how when a guy loads up with the right hand, how you drop and drop, slip and drop and throw the left hook to the body. Really interesting stuff. So I'm really looking forward to uploading these videos for you, and you can get to see, and you'll get to see Bashir and Sorenko working up close. So yeah, it was a great opportunity. I also got to meet the #1 promoter in German boxing. Shout out to Bulldog Boxing Gym in Karlsruhe. It was a great experience. They were so loving. I really appreciate. That's it for me on BWTM Online. We appreciate you lot, and thank you again. And I guess I'll see you live for Alan Chisora and of course Khan v Crawford. It's going to be a great night of boxing. Hope you can join us. This is BWTM Online. As always, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. We're out of here. Take care. Thank you once again to Sam Jones, manager of Joyce.